Coronavirus outbreak at the White House is growing. At least 34 people have now tested positive. Joining us now, USD Professor Corinne Hoare. She is was the youngest communications director for the White House Office of Management and Budget from 2007 to 2008. And Professor, with your insights and your experience, how would you describe the status of communications that's coming out of the White House right now?
Well, the status of the communications is it's a very stressful situation right now. You have an internal communication problem where staffers at the White House are unsure about their working environments, and then externally, a very mixed message signal that the White House is giving to the American public. You have people who are from the CDC to the FDA to the doctors that are taking care of the president, all singing off a different song sheet. And when you have mixed messages going out to the public, you lose trust in voters. And trust is something that the White House needs now more than ever.
Based on your experience in the Bush administration, how much power, it's got to be entirely different, but how much power does the president have over the message that goes out to the public?
Well, this presidency is very different than presidents past. So there used to be a press office and a very coordinated approach in how communications were delivered to the public and to the press. This president speaks directly to the people, oftentimes using his own Twitter and other videos and photographs that he orchestrates himself. So this president has a lot of power and he speaks directly to the people.
Now, we talked a little earlier, and you were saying that this president should understand the power of the truth. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, the truth is something that's really important for voters and for the American public. And transparency in a crisis is the number one focus of anybody who's communicating. And it should be, especially when you are working for the government, you are signing up for transparency. And it's important for the public to understand the truth. So when was the first coronavirus? When was the last negative coronavirus test? These are all answers that the public and the press need to understand, really, because this is what the issues are about of our time. This is what the election is about. It's about Americans' personal health, safety, and their economic safety. And that really needs to be the focus. And the White House is going to be losing trust in voters if they cannot speak the truth and have a consistent, clear message about what is happening with the president's health.
Early on in the coronavirus, the president talked about him playing down the threat because he didn't want to get Americans to panic. Is there any justification at all, as far as you can see, in terms of communications out of a White House to make that argument?
Look, I understand where the president is coming from. He does not want to ignite panic. He also does not want to be talking about coronavirus anymore. He wants to be back on the campaign trail, talking about other issues that are going to help this election. But the problem is that research shows that in crisis communication, when you tell the public who are already scared about their health and their safety, not to worry about it, it's not effective. On the flip side, if you tell people who are already not taking coronavirus seriously and not taking precautions, not to worry about it, that's going to enhance their risky behavior. And if those two things happen, then the numbers of coronavirus fatalities are only going to increase.
And Corinne, we have to wrap up, but I do want to ask you very quickly in terms of the level of anxiety among staffers in the White House right now. I know you know some of them without naming names. Where would you put that?
Look, it's a very stressful time. We're less than 4 weeks out until the election. I remember those days inside the White House. But it's also even more stressful now that the public health crisis has made its way to the White House. So it's a very stressful time. There's opportunities and crises always for leadership to arise and for the silver lining to be made. So we'll just have to wait and see.
USD Professor Corinne Hoare, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jim.